Good morning and welcome to the show. This is In Touch, and In Touch is our weekly half-hour public affairs show, which means if you are a nonprofit group or organization here in the Hudson Valley, we'd love to have you on the show to talk about what is important to you. If you are a company here in the Hudson Valley that is helping out a nonprofit organization, has a nonprofit branch of what it is that you're doing, and there are issues that are of concern to you here in the Hudson Valley and Sullivan and Orange County, we'd love to have you on the show. So at the end of the program today, I will give you a myriad of ways to get a hold of me. Trust me, I'm probably too many places, and you can find me, and you should find me because we'd love to have you on the show. So let me turn on microphones and say that this is pre-recorded. I did not ask these nice people to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, at 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Did not do that. Whatever station you're listening to this morning, all you have to do is go to the website, and I will tell you at the end of the show how you can get a recording of this program. You can listen back to pieces of it, to parts of it, and there will also be an article around it. So if we have any websites, if we have any phone numbers, we will link to all of that. So without further ado, let me tell you that today we are going to be talking about the Villa Veritas and the Villa Veritas Foundation. And we're going to tell you, if you're not familiar with that, what that is. Let me introduce who we have in the room. We have Sue Cusack, who is the co-founder and president of Villa Veritas. So Sue, thank you very much for taking the time out and being here. I really appreciate it. Good morning.
Good morning.
We also have Joy Bick, who is project manager and IT at Villa Veritas. So Joy, thank you as well for coming over and being willing to put yourself behind the microphone.
Thank you for having me.
And Joy and Patrick are sharing the microphone. So if you hear that sound, just so you know, we have Patrick Pillsworth, who is KSAC, Community Relations and Outreach at Villa Veritas. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay. So good morning to everyone. So let's start off with, there may be some people who know what Villa Veritas is and all that you do. But there may be some people who don't. So Sue, let's talk some history. When, when you say that it's possible to live and enjoy life without alcohol and drugs, let's talk about Villa Veritas and a background, mission, however you would like to go.
Okay, thank you. Mm-hmm. First, it's an honor to be here today. I want to thank you so much for inviting us, to have the opportunity to maybe get our message out that there is help and hope available for both men and women and children who have an addiction problem, either alcohol and or drugs. The stigma is tremendous. And so Villa Veritas, I'd like to just give a little background on it, was really the treasure behind our villa is my husband, Jim, passed away 2 years ago. He and I did this work. It's a mission for 45 years now. It's 45 years. And I'll give you a little history background. The Villa Veritas is House of Truth. It started with the Dominican sisters who had given us the property on which to begin our villa. And so I'll go into that and just share it with you, and feel free to interrupt at any time.
No, you keep going. You keep going. We're good.
So we hope to break the stigma today. I myself am a member of a 12-step program. I am a woman who came through the era of the madmen and drinking in the city after work, advertising. Very, very, very insidious. I am proud to say that I have not had a drink or anything in 49 years. Wow. So only, not braggadocious, owe it to my mother putting holy water in my scotch at one point, and prayers, and also for a wonderful 12-step program that has led me to my husband, Jim, and to the life that I am living today. And so the seeds of Veritas Villa, it was Veritas Villa. When we changed it over to a foundation, we changed it to Villa Veritas, okay. House of Truth, either way. You must get honest in order to stay sober. So the villa was, it was planted during the difficult time that my husband Jim experienced in early recovery from his alcoholism. At that time, he made a vow if he could do anything with his life, he wanted to make the transition from active alcoholism to sobriety a little less painful for others. We have a book we offered to everybody, Trouble to Gift. He wrote it. It's his story as a kid growing up. with his Irish immigrant parents and the tough time for 10 years of active, intense alcoholism and addiction with drinking, and how he recovered. And at age 22, that's when he found sobriety, and that's when he decided that he wanted to make sobriety a little less painful. It was a dream and a mission he held on to, and he believed would happen someday. He didn't know when. After a visit to the Shrine of American Martyrs in Auriesville, New York, and about his 12th year of sobriety, Jim had the opportunity to begin his dream and mission. It was at Glenacre Lodge, Glen Spey, New York, that Jim began his career. He was fortunate to be involved in the establishment of treatment as we know it today. He was also helped in the beginning treatment, involved in the founding of counseling credentials, and helping to develop treatment standards both nationally and internationally over many years. As time went on, we were involved with folks in Iceland and even in Russia who were sending their people over to get help to the villa. In 1973, Jim and his wife and partner, myself, Sue, were given the opportunity to develop the program we know as Veritas Villa under the auspices of the Dominican Sisters of Amityville. Their goal was to provide affordable treatment with quality care for people from all walks of life. Now, back in those days, there was not help available as we know it today. There was no money available to treat alcoholics. Nobody really wanted any alcoholics around in the hospitals or anywhere.
Right.
So my Jim was an innovative person who really put this program together from just his own love for helping another alcoholic. The goal was to provide affordable treatment. In 1981, the Dominican Sisters found they had to sell the property on which the villa stood. Jim and I had been there for all those years, 8 years, had planned to make it our home forever, but they couldn't afford to keep the property going. They were going to give us a few acres, but the new owners did not want alcoholics on their property.
Wow.
So we had to go find another place. We were heartbroken. The villa has had many ups and downs with anything. If you do it with a passion and you love what you do, you just never give up. And my husband and I had a love story we were gifted with in doing this mission. It was never about money. It was never about us. It was always about together helping another alcoholic and our families. And we were blessed with a special love. We were never given the children that we wanted to have. That wasn't in the cards, but we now have thousands of children throughout the country, I think. So in 1981, we had to leave and look for another place. And we were blessed through the people in the Ellenville area to find was Rubens Hotel in the middle of Groningston. And for 3 years, it had been a drug place. It was Synanon. And they had to leave, and we needed to get in. And fortunately, we had no money. We rounded up $100,000 to put the down payment on that property in 1981. I knew Jim could do it. I didn't worry then. I just said, Jim, you can do it. And we will bring all of the accounts, the police department, the Con Edison, the folks who had been working with us, followed us over there, went to the town board. We got our approvals to go in because there, too, they were afraid who was going to protect the neighborhood with these alcoholics coming to Groningston. And the funny part was we brought up all our employee assistance program developers with Jim. And the head of the police department came and said, well, we will have people in there and outside protecting. So you don't have to worry. We'll be plenty of us. So it kind of broke the stigma for the community to see that we actually, these were all working people. They just were hit. They were good people that hit with a bad disease.
Isn't that amazing? And I don't mean to, I just need to.
Please do.
When you talk about the fact that there was such a stigma, it's hard to imagine that. I mean, I remember that growing up. I remember some of my family in the age of the madmen in the city. You know, I remember some of that, and then, you know, worried because, you know, it had gotten out of hand and things were getting lost in their life because of that. But now, I'm not saying it's stigma free. It isn't.
No.
And Patrick is, is agreeing. You guys can't see that he nodded his head.
Right.
And Patrick, you can speak to this, certainly. There is certainly still that. But Sue, what you said is that it's a disease. There are good people. If I may, I don't think anyone says, you know what I want to do when I grow up?
Right.
No.
That's what I'm going to do.
No.
I don't think anybody does that.
It's insidious.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Patrick, if it's okay with you, Sue, I want to.
Well, sure. Yeah, we wrapped up. So we ended up in Kurhangsen, and we were blessed with wonderful staff that we have here today. We have a staff of 50 people, and I will throw it over to Patrick to address it from that point of view.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I came aboard the villa in 2013. Prior to that, I was in the detox for 7 years in Kingston, New York. And
wow. Pull the microphone just a little. I need to I'm barely hearing you. I don't want to interrupt, but okay.
I was in the detox for 7 years, and it really opened my eyes to the need in this area. And I ran into Sue and Jim, and they kept telling me, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you. And I said, no, you're not. And finally one night Jim said, you're not leaving here until we make a deal. I said, all right. So we did. And I'm tickled death that we're there. But Jim and Sue's work, I think what the community doesn't know is that they've helped over 50,000 people in the years that they've created this place.
Wow.
Right, and they don't raise their fanfare, and hey, they just do their work. And the people in New York City, the people in Albany, in this area, 50,000 families, clients, patients, whatever you want to call it, have benefited from Villa Veritas, which is a testament to it. And what you said is that, when you're 15 years old drinking on a flatbed, you don't say, hey, I want to be an alcoholic. I want to be a drug addict. You don't do that.
Right.
It's just there.
Right.
And one of the things that we talk about in the bill is when people come in about the stigma specifically, if your grandmother or a close relative or someone has heart disease, you wouldn't go up to your grandmother and say, hey, just shake that crap off.
Right. Right.
Don't even worry about it. It'll be fine. No, you can't do that, nor can you do that with alcohol or drugs. And that's the piece that we really need to work as a society to really help us. And that's been one of the reasons that we have the walk every year, which was Sue's idea to take the community across the Hudson to help us to help other people. And that's really what it boils down to, as Sue said, one person helping another. So I'm really fortunate and blessed to be working at the villa. So I hope that's a little bit of insight with it.
What I love and what I wish people could see are your eyes when both of you speak. That is one thing that we lose in radio. The passion, the sincerity, the commitment. I mean, you can see that in people's eyes. It's to say that it's powerful that there have been 50,000 people that have been helped is an understatement. The lives that you've given back, the families that you have helped keep together or put back together, because oftentimes families can be destroyed. Yeah. Children are removed from homes.
I'd like to address that too. My husband was very innovative in putting together a family program and including the family in recovery. In his first work with the employee assistance programs, they neglected the family members, and he was the one to push for it. And we're into fourth generation now of families. Grandchildren are coming back that walked around. They had been to the villa when they were little kids, and they remembered it was a nice place. So when it was their turn to come, it is a family illness. It's a generational disease, just like diabetes or anything else.
Right.
And so he put the family program in place of the healing, and it's for healing, education, and be able to open doors of communication for your loved one, because there's so much pain and secretiveness in growing up with an alcoholic that he helps. And so we have a family program every Saturday. We have a very good family program director, Lynn, and we take turns working with her on Saturdays. They come from 9 to 2, and you have little kids and 12 and up coming in, and they're seeing, oh, mom and dad It's not. They're not bad people. They're sick and they're getting well. They're going to school for their disease. And then on Sundays we have the families visit as well. But Jim was really innovative in trying to do the healing work and helping. And I wish he could be here today, because if you saw his eyes, to his last dying breath, he still was helping alcoholics. When he could no longer go over to the villa, we would bring people over to him at the kitchen table. He actually lived to serve. And I think we believe, too, that when you have a pet, when you have a gift, you must use it. And I think all of us who are people who do become involved, either families or the addicted, have a gift of caring and love that from the pain that reaches out to other people. And he was able to sit at the kitchen table at the end. We didn't know if he was actually listening. And at the very end, he'd say to someone, you can always drink tomorrow. Yeah. And he had his slogans. He was known as a tough guy, but he had a heart of gold. And I think he's instilled that in all of us as a staff. My mission now is simply to carry the place on with the beautiful staff. We have 50 people. I wish you could anyone listening could come over and have lunch with us. The food's phenomenal, too, by the way. You'll think you're in a family atmosphere. I tell everyone we live across the street here, so we may look nice, but don't mess up, because his spirit's still around here. And but we welcome you to come over and see. It would help break the stigma. And if there's anyone that might have a problem, if you think someone has a drinking problem, you're probably right. Because it's not, it sneaks up on people before they realize it. So. Yeah,
you find yourself, I remember talking with a friend, it's almost like having a credit card, You go and you buy and you figure when the bill comes due, you can pay it. And then when the bill comes due, you didn't realize it was as large as what it was.
Right.
It does. It sneaks up on you. And as you said, it's a disease. It isn't something that you go, here's a checkbox of things that I would like to do, and let me check that. And like you said, Patrick, you wouldn't say someone with heart disease or cancer, like, get up. What are you doing? Shake it off. I mean, come on. There's no need for that. So let me ask you this question, and we're going to talk about the walk, but I want to ask one thing.
Sure.
If someone is listening this morning and they need help, what do they do? How do they contact you? What is the best thing to do, or family member? What is that procedure, so that people, maybe that might help take some of the fear away? What is the procedure? How can people be there and to get help?
Well, they can call a number, 845-626-3555, all day until 5 o'clock, and ask for any of us who are here today, plus our wonderful admissions team. We have a team back there. We're always on duty.
Absolutely.
We have Shayna, Kenny, Ryan,
George.
and George. Yeah. That will be. They sit on the phone and talk to people for hours, just who are confused and don't know what to do. So there's a friendly ear at the villa for you. And then after hours, we have Sue Heath is on the after hour phones from after 5 at night, all through the evening. She'll have phone calls at 2 in the morning from a distraught mother who doesn't know what to do with her son. And you can reach her at the following number, after hours and weekends, 845-532-2418. That's 845-532-2418. You can also go on our website.
Yeah.
Okay.
And our website is www.villaveritas.org. Thanks to our wonderful Joy, who's been
very quiet, but she's coming in soon.
Joy, actually, we were able to also corral her to come and work for us. We're so blessed. And she had a love for what she saw there. She didn't know quite what happened in there, but she knew there was a lot of love. And she knew we needed her help to get it going and get the word out there. So the villaveritas.org, you can go on there. Joy, tell them how to do it.
Yep. You just, any web browser, obviously, www.villaveritas.org. We worked on updating that thanks to Town Square Media. So it's fully functional, up to date, even mobile accessible.
That's powerful.
Your cell phone in your hand.
Powerful.
Our phone number is right there. You click to call at any time, and someone is always there to answer the phone. And that's the thing that I love about the Villa. It is a very personable, family-oriented. We don't treat you like a number or a dollar sign. It's more about getting you well because you're ill.
Right.
And we're there to help.
And that's a difference, because I've had friends and people very close to me who've gone through different programs, and that is certainly not always the case. And I think that when it comes to something like this, with any disease, you need to find the place that works for you. Because if it doesn't work for you, it isn't going to work. It's not going to click. And I also think, Sue, as you mentioned, the House of Truth, there's a lot of stuff that's hidden. There's a lot of manipulation, a lot of hiding, a lot of, you'll say something because you know how people will take it and they'll assume something when that's not what there's an awful lot of that goes on. So to be in a place where you feel safe, that can go away, is really powerful. Let's talk about, I'm looking at the time. Oh, yeah, 20 minutes. We have 10 minutes left. You guys are going to have to come back. Okay, we've already decided that. You guys are going to have to come back and do another show. So we've already fixed that. But let's talk about the event that's coming up. I don't want that to go by the wayside. Patrick, you want to take that one?
Okay.
Right, Patrick.
The microphone is being moved your way. So, Patrick, you're taking that one.
All right.
So let's talk about it. This
is on Sunday, September the 16th. It starts at 11:30 on the Highland side. This year, we do it alternated each year on the river over the walk over the Hudson. And we'll be gathering there from 11 o'clock on. We usually get several hundred people to help us, and I got a feeling this year is going to be quite a lot of people helping us because the problem that's out there. I mean, I don't want to get off the subject or whatever, but just recently they just released that the 2017 figures of people who have overdosed, drunk, and death, 72,000 people. And people say, well, what does that mean? I say, well, how many people lost their lives in Vietnam, my era, right? And they said, I don't know. I said, well, it was 56,000. That was over 10 years. We lost more young people in 1 year than the Vietnam War together, and that's 1 year. So what this walk symbolizes in my mind is that we put on our purple T-shirts and our wristbands, and we walk to share the gift of recovery, which was basically Sue's idea, that we share this with people. And as another reason for that is to help us, because the cost of operation, and this is not about cost, but you have to have a margin to do a mission.
Yes, you absolutely.
And the hurdles that we have to go through today versus, as Sue can tell you, 25 years ago, go to the farm, that's what they call it, right? Right. And get help. Now we have to go through hoops. It's amazing. So what we're saying to the community, help us to help you.
Right.
And we've got a 45-year track record of helping over 50,000 people. So help us.
Right.
Well, it's not a lot of money. It's a few bucks. If you can do more, do more. But it's a mission that this area, and I don't care where you go.
No.
And people will say to me, oh, this really doesn't affect me. I say, okay. Do you know a family member that might have a problem? Yeah. Coworker? Yeah. Boss? Yeah. I said, so it affects you.
Right.
And that's what Sue and Jim's idea of the family program. It's everywhere.
It is.
And to stick your arm out and say, no, it doesn't bother me, maybe not at that moment, but I guarantee you it's going to affect you somewhere.
Right.
And sharing that vision, sharing the hope that Jim and Sue put together for us in this area, it's amazing. It's absolutely, truly amazing to be part of that.
Now, how can people participate in the Walkway? What do you need people to do? Raise money, donate? Let's give them the basic who, what, when, where, why. We know where, but what do they need to do? They need to go to a website, pre-register. They can sign up that day so that
they can do both. They can either go to the website and look up how to come, or they can just show up that day. It's from 11 to probably 3 or 4.
Okay.
We have Michael Heim is going to come and kick us off.
Okay.
He'll be speaking around Ulster County Executive Michael Heim. He's been so supportive. He and the county executive's been really great every year. It's our 7th annual walk, by the way. And so Michael will be there to kick it off. Then we have bagpipers, and we proudly have a banner of Walking for Recovery. We want to hold our head high and show people, with all the opiate and the suicides and the young people's deaths lately and the opiate and alcohol crisis, it is a crisis. We want to show that there is hope. It's purple. We use the color purple for hope. And we all stand behind this huge, beautiful banner, walk proudly across the Hudson. So if you have any question, you'll know that this is a disease that can really be, you can win together. It can be a family recovery. And so we'll have people from all walks of life, all ages are going to show up, good weather or bad weather, and be ready to march with us and proudly. You know, and alcoholism, I'd like to mention, too, addiction in general. My husband really talked a lot about this. It's a threefold disease. We don't talk about it enough today. No matter what your drug of choice is, it's threefold. And first, you go downhill very, very insidiously. First, it's spiritual, meaning your relationships with other people. And they start to deteriorate. The family, they pull away. Then mentally, thinking goes off. Values go off. And lastly, physical. And that's when we see people. They need the hospital. They need help. The value of time in treatment. I wish the insurance companies would help and give people more time. We could save the insurance companies money if you give the block of time. That's what my husband said, the gift of time. Break the cycle for a month and then go to your outpatient and your aftercare and 12 step. We could get so much more done. It's frantic seeing the poor families sitting in our waiting room for 6 hours waiting for someone on the phone to give them 5 days with us.
Yes.
And sometimes, you know what? We say, please, if you have a few dollars, we'll keep you. Because we hate to see them go. And yet, we can't keep the place going doing that all the time. I could be filled with people and just take them in. But we don't take funding. We are private. So that we could be take people who at least have some inkling of wanting help. We don't want people just showing up and take their money and that they're sent here, like mandated by court systems.
Right, like they're going to be here a certain number of days, and you're not really sure if any work is going to get done. But what you said is so powerful. Well, there's so many things that have been said that's so powerful during this entire show, but when you mentioned the fact that you could save the insurance companies money, and that's something that it amazes me that people don't understand that. You know, you could give that chunk of time. It didn't take 5 days to get in the situation that you're in.
Right.
Why on earth would you think it could take 5 days to get you out?
Yes, and to do it just
why?
If it was a heart patient needing a transplant or something, you wouldn't tell them, try it, come back and forth every other day.
Yeah.
These are people's lives. They're kids that are dying. There are adult men that are dying from addiction, from alcoholism still.
Yes.
And it's destroying their liver, their families. And so I appreciate the opportunity that you could help us make people aware today that there is help available. And there are other good treatment centers too. It doesn't have to just be us, but if you can get the block of time to get away. And also our program is, we are very unique. We have a separate men's and women's program, okay? And we find that the men and women separately, they can focus better on their recovery because there is another addiction called the attraction addiction, I call it. And it is set up doomed for failure. And so we have a separate men's program by women, for women, by men. No, women's program by women and men's program. And then we have the family program. Patrick, did I forget anything else on these separate programs?
Well, let me tell you, we have about 2.5 minutes left. So I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of that. So go ahead, Patrick.
I wanted to just loop back to the walk for a second, because someone who's listening to this say, well, how can I do something? All right. The body is important. Don't get me wrong. But we have levels of where you can get a T-shirt and a bracelet for $25, and you can have your name on that banner that Sue was talking about, big bold letters for $100, which you also get the T-shirt, the thing, and everything that goes with it. And the most important thing is cookies will be there until we run out. As per
always
Sue.
Important. Always.
It's all about the food at the Villa.
Yes,
we love the food.
If someone wants to come on board, 845-626-3555. Just say, I'm interested in the walk, and we'll help him.
Okay. I need to believe this is proof. You guys are going to have to come back to talk. There is so much to talk about, but we have a minute and a half, and everyone gets testy when I go too long. So, Sue, final comments, closing thoughts that you'd like to leave with folks this morning.
Thank you for being patient. We don't do this often. We're
You guys
too busy.
are great. You guys are great.
We're in the trenches.
Yeah.
I love what I do. I live to do it, and we're there for everybody. And thank you for having our message out there today. I hope someone out there that heard needs help. We're here for you. Call. Give us a shot. You don't have to lock in on anything, but just call us.
Mm-hmm.
This is Sue talking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joy,
Yes.
closing comments.
Yeah. The villa is, like I said, it's a family-oriented thing. So call us. There's someone always on the other end of the line. If you just even need to talk about something that you think someone has a problem, like Sue said, they probably do. And we can talk you through that and what to do and how to get help or how to proceed in the process of getting help. And the villa's definitely one of the places to do it. And if we're not the right place for you, we'll tell you. We'll give you an alternative.
Right.
We have a great staff and a great nursing department, medical doctors, everything that Jerry and her team, they take such good care. We have overnight staff. You're never alone.
Yeah.
And the whole entire staff is really sent by a higher power, we believe. And now my husband's up there, so he's making sure everybody pulls together.
Making sure
We have a great team.
Patrick, final thoughts.
If you're calling us, I can tell you you're not going to talk to a machine. The villa is manned by an operator 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So there's a live human being that you can talk to on the other end of that phone. I think that separates us from a lot of people.
I do too. Patrick, Joy, Sue, thank you all so very, very much
Thank you.
with all the work that you're doing.
Thank you
To
very
take
much.
your time to be here is tremendous. Thanks to all of you. And thanks to all of you for listening. Whatever radio station you're listening to this morning, you can go to their website. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the magnifying glass search. Just type in touch. This show will come up so you can listen back to any part that you want. And there will also be, I know we talked phone numbers and we talked websites. All of that will be in an article surrounding this interview so you can have that information as you need it. If you'd like to be on the program, here's how you can get a hold of me. Phone number 845-471-1500. My extension is 159. Email is beth.christie@townsquaremedia.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on Instagram. I'm probably too many places, but that just means you can find me, and we'd love to have you on the show. Take care of yourself and those you love, and we'll see you right here next week.